Good evening and welcome to the ASMR pub style quiz. We have 4 categories. They are music, sport, film and history. There's 20 questions on each category. I've got a sheet with all of the questions on for you. If you can write your answers next to the question at the end of each section, I'll mark your sheet and give you the answers. Finally, I'll give you your total at the end of the quiz. Right then, are you ready?
Yeah.
Let's get quizzing. Here's your list of the questions. I will read them out, but you have actually got them written down as well. So, name the song. Music is the first category, as I've said. So, name the song. By now, you should have somehow realised what you're gonna do. Again, name the song, and it burns, burns, burns.
Okay.
What was the name of the lead singer of the band Queen?
Stage name.
Yeah. In 1970, which singer had a hit with the song Piano Man?
Okay.
What is the name of the band who sings Walk Like an Egyptian? Who is the lead singer of Cream?
This one's going to be a guess.
What is the name of the US pop singer who was called a King of Pop?
Okay.
Which band took its name from the scientist in the Barbarella movies? If at any time you want me to repeat a question, just say repeat. Can you repeat?
This is a guess.
Who's the lead singer of Led Zeppelin? Who is the lead singer for the band Iron Maiden? See, I know that's not in the category of music that you would normally listen to.
Just thinking about number 2 at the moment. Burns, burns, burns. I'm not sure about that one.
Right, number 11. What was the title of the Beatles' second film?
Okay.
Which wife of one of the Beatles wrote the book Grapefruit?
Former wife.
It just said, well, she was the wife of one of the Beatles when she wrote it. Let's just put it that way.
Okay.
Complete the line. When I was young, so much.
Okay, next.
How was David Robert how was David Robert Jones better known?
Okay.
Which musical does this number come from? Good Morning Starshine.
Okay.
Which artist sang the hit Earth Song?
Right.
What song was the Christmas #1 in both 1975 and in 1991?
Okay.
What band provided the music for the musical, Tommy? And this is well before you was born, but it's been on the telly fairly recently.
Okay.
Name the band. Matt Goss, Luke Goss, Craig Logan. And last question on this category. Face Value was a 1981 album from which former member of the band Genesis? That's it for that category. If I have a look at your answers.
There are 4 that are star, which I'm just never going to get.
That just means it's wrong. Right, so #1. By now you should have somehow realised what you're going to do was You Can't Hurry Love. You've put Wonderwall. So I'm sorry, that's 1 gone. And it burns, burns, burns. You didn't give me an answer on that. That was Ring of Fire. What was the name of the lead singer of the band Queen? Freddie Mercury, that's correct. In 1970, which singer had a hit with song Piano Man? Billy Joel. I didn't expect you to get that. I thought you'd have put Elton John, because a lot of people would guess Elton John for that. What was the name of the band that sang Like an Egyptian? That was the Bangles. You've got that correct. Who is the lead singer of Cream? Eric Clapton. And you've got that correct.
Wow.
You said that was a guess,
I
but
knew
it was
he
a
was in the band, but I
very
didn't know
good
he was the
guess.
lead singer.
What is the name of a US singer who was called King of Pop? Michael Jackson is correct. Which band took its name from the scientist in the Barbarella movies? That was Duran Duran. You've put Dr. Hook. Lead singer of Led Zeppelin, Robert Plant, correct. And you didn't know the answer for Iron Maiden's lead singer. That's Bruce Dickinson. Moving on to the second part. What was the title of the Beatles' second film? Help. That's correct. Well done. Which wife of one of the Beatles wrote the book Grapefruit? You've put Linda McCartney.
It's going to be Ono Elko, isn't it?
Yoko Ono, yeah. Complete the line. When I was young, so much. You didn't know that one. Younger than today. How was David Robert Jones better known? You've put Robert Plant. It was David Bowie.
What an idiot.
Yeah, but when they use stage names, it's hard, isn't it? Which musical does the number come from? Good Morning Starshine. That's Hair. You didn't know any answers for that. Which artist sung this hit? Song? Yes, Michael Jackson is correct. What song was the Christmas number one in both 1975 and 1981? Merry Christmas, Noddy Old. No. He only ever released it once and it just stayed going. No. You'll be surprised at this one. Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, wow.
What band provided the music for the musical Tommy? The Who. Yes, no, that's one of my favourites. The Who is one of my favourite groups. Name the band. Matt Goss, Luke Goss, Craig Logan, Bros is correct. Face Value was a 1981 album from which former member of the band group Genesis. Phil Collins is correct. Well done.
I'm sure the first one is a line from Wonderwall. What was the question? By now? Should have somehow
realised what you're going to do. Well, I thought it was in that as well, but the answer it's given on the pub quiz was...
So I should get a mark for that because I basically...
Actually, I agree with you because I'm thinking of it, and to be honest with you, my first thought was that was the answer. So yeah, I've given you the mark for that.
But the actual answer was...
So you've got 12 on that one. So the actual answer that the pub quiz gave was... I can get the page to go back. You Can't Hurry Love.
Okay.
Right. And actually, I don't think You Can't Hurry Love is the right answer. I think that's the wrong answer anyway. It's got to be.
So, yeah.
Yep, you've got 12. I have written it down, so... Right. Second is sport. And again, I've got all the questions written down for you. Now this is 20 questions, and all of the questions are on different sports. They're not all, there's not a big section of football, a big section of rugby, anything like that. They're just random. Are you ready for me to start?
Yeah, go.
Which country is the Aztec Stadium?
What I'll do is I'll write it in a different colour so you can distinguish it better. Okay.
Is tennis an Olympic sport? What was unusual about the 1973 Five Nations Championship?
That's a bit of a guess. Okay.
In rugby union, what is the colour of Australia's shorts? Which former national hunt jockey subsequently became a best-selling writer of crime fiction?
My granddad used to read his books. If I'm right.
And I was thinking of your partner as the reason for you knowing the answer to
My
this.
granddad used to read his books.
Which country is the Belfry in? From which club did Newcastle sign Jermaine Genius?
I think it's that.
What nationality is Brian Robson? And what nationality is Andy Murray? What is the highest score a judge can award in figure skating? Which football team are called the Tykes? Right, so sport continued. Who is Owen Farrell's dad? One in a million names. In golf, what is the maximum amount of time allowed to look for a lost ball?
Another guess?
Name one of the two Americans who have won the Formula One World Drivers' Championship. There's two of them that have ever won it. You've got to name one of them.
Goodness me.
So this is my forte, not yours.
Think of any Americans? How long have we got to go back?
You'll know one name, but it doesn't sound American when I tell you.
I've got a load of F1 drivers' names in my head, but I can't think of any Americans. Got Australian, Finnish. I'll start that one, come back to it. F1, you say?
Yeah.
We'll move on.
Who is the only Nobel Prize winner to have played first-class cricket?
It's getting harder. Next one.
What wood is a cricket bat made from? The famous sprinter Carl Lewis ran for which country? The fastest South African bowler ever.
It's my ambulance.
Thought so. Number 19. In which country is Roland Garros? Who captained England in the 1995 Rugby Union World Cup final?
I can't think of his second name. Goodness me. Jones Lewis. I've met him as well. The guy I'm thinking of. No, that's not right. What's his surname? Let me have a think about the F1 one as well. Two Americans have won the F1 World Drivers' Championship. God, how far have we got to go back for that? Cannon, Eddie Jordan, Bottas, Ricardo. None of them are American, are they? He's Australian, isn't he, Ricardo? That's a tricky one.
Really, you either know it or you don't.
I can't think of any Americans. Right.
So if you want to go through it all just to make sure, in case there's something you want to add.
I'm happy with the first 10, first 11 there. I'm just going to have to submit there.
Okay, let's mark it all up then. Right, which country is Aztec Stadium? That's actually in France.
Is it?
Yeah,
Sure.
I'm 100% sure of that. It sounds Mexican, I agree. Yes, it is a national, an Olympic sport, tennis. Right, well, they do 6 nations now. So there's been 6 teams several times. Now, the unusual thing about 1973, 5 nations, it was a 5-way tie.
Right.
In rugby union, what colour is the Australian shorts? Green is correct. I'm surprised you knew that one, if I'm honest with you.
Isn't it yellow top, green
Yeah.
bottoms?
Right. Which former national hunt jockey subsequently became a best-selling writer of crime fiction? Dick Francis is correct. Which country is the Belfry in? It's in England.
Yeah.
It's actually in Sutton Coldfield.
Of course.
Or is it Solihull? It's local, in other words.
Put Scotland, didn't it?
Yeah. From which club did Newcastle sign Jermaine Genus? It wasn't Tottenham Hotspur, it was Nottingham Forest. What nationality is Brian Robson? English. What nationality is Andrew Murray? Scottish. They're correct. What is the highest score a judge can award in figure skating? You only have to think of Torval and Dean. They got the maximum 10 marks. So 10 is correct.
Good guess.
Which football team are called the Tykes? Barnsley is correct. You're doing well.
Sport, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's all sports.
I'm good at all sports. Apart from rugby and F1.
I'm good at these, at all sports. Who is Owen Farrell's dad? Andy. You've put Tom. And the maximum time to find a lost ball in golf is 3 minutes. You've put 5, so I'm sorry, that's wrong as well. Name one of the 2 Americans who've won. They're Mario Andretti or Phil Hill. Phil Hill is going back a long time. Mario Andretti isn't that far
Sounds
off.
Italian, doesn't it?
But it doesn't sound American, which is why you'd
Say
find it
Italian,
difficult.
yeah.
Who is the only Nobel Prize winner to have played first-class cricket? That's Samuel Beckett. You put, what's that? Sobers.
Salbers.
What wood is a cricket bat made from? Willow. You've got that correct. The famous sprinter Carl Lewis ran for which country? You've put Canada. It was America. Fastest South African bowler ever? No, it's not Alan Donald. It's Dale Strain. Stain, not Strain. Steyn. In which country is Roland Garros? France is correct. Who captained England in the 1995 Rugby Union World Cup final? You've put Martin Jones. You wasn't far off, it was Martin Johnson.
I've met him as well.
Yeah. Right, shall we see how many points you've got from this one? You got 9 on that one.
9, just 9.
Just 9.
I'll take more than that. It's better than music.
Yeah, but there again, you're very good at music as well. Just going to write these down. 9 and 12. Right, the next category is film.
Okay.
All right, when you're ready. Name a film, the film this character appears in. Slugworth.
There could be 2 or 3 different answers, depending on how you. It could be Willy Wonka, it could be Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. So hopefully you'll give me that mark. Okay.
Name the film the character appears in. Wednesday Addams.
Yeah.
Name the film this character appears in. Baloo.
Baloo.
Yep.
Baloo the Bear. That's actually Mr. Chunk's name. His actual name is Baloo.
Right.
Okay.
Name the film this character appears in. Elsa.
Right, I'm going to cover all tracks here. Okay.
Name the film this character appears in. Freddy Krueger.
Okay.
Name the film this character appears in. Ellie
Woods.
Ellie Woods. My W hasn't photocopied very well. That's better. So, name the film this character appears in. Ellie Woods.
Next.
Name the film this character appears in. Sandy Olsen.
Okay.
Name the film the character appears in. Captain Quint.
Yep.
Name the character this character appears in. Name the film this character appears in. Ellen Ripley. Name the film this character appears in. Carrie White.
Okay. Next.
When was the film Goonies released?
I'm always one off for these, aren't I? Next.
I'll give it you 2 each way. What were the hills alive with in the musical set in Austria?
I think you missed one out. What accompanied the bad? And
Oh, sorry. Yeah. What accompanied the bad and the ugly in the Clint Eastwood film?
Well, there was a trilogy, wasn't there? There was a fistful of dollars.
Yeah, but did that accompany The Bad and the Ugly?
And then you had For a Few Dollars More.
But did that accompany The Bad and the Ugly?
I don't know what you mean. What accompanied it?
So think of the titles.
Oh, I see what you mean. I'm overthinking it, aren't I?
Yeah. Right, so what were the hills alive with in the musical set in Austria? Okay. What comical character is featured as evil in the film It? Which army does Tom Hanks serve for in Saving Private Ryan?
His name.
In other words, what army was he in?
Okay.
The Eagle Has Landed centres on a plot to kidnap whom? You can either give the name or the job title.
Either give what? The film or the title? The job title.
No, not the film. The Eagle Has Landed is the film title. Now, so it's either giving the name of the person or the job title of the person.
Pass. Go on then.
Name the film Philo Beddoe. That's another Clint Eastwood film.
Name the film.
Yeah,
Philo.
Philo Beddoe is the star in it.
Oh, it's a person. Philo Beddoe. Clint Eastwood. Okay.
Right turn.
You are.
Right turn. He tells something to do that.
It's not a western.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
Name the film this character appears in. Honey Rider.
God. Next.
What garden ornament was the basis of the film Romeo and Juliet? Good clue in the name.
Okay.
In which Bond film does Rowan Atkinson star?
Ooh. Rowan Atkinson, the Bond film. It's not GoldenEye.
I remember it very well.
It's not Octopussy. It's not Young Golden Gun. It's not The Living Daylights. Die Another Day. Total guess. Okay.
Do you want to go through them again just in case, just to make sure before I take them off you?
Name the film this character appears in, Ellie Woods. Some wild guesses there.
Right. Right, so name the film this character appears in, Slugworth. It's a film with the same name, Slugworth. You've put Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Oh, sorry, that's wrong.
But he's in those films.
Name the film this character appears in, Wednesday Addams. The Addams Family is correct. Name the film this character appears in, Baloo. The Jungle Book is correct. Name the film this character appears in, Elsa. Frozen is correct. Name the film this character appears in, Freddy Krueger. A Nightmare on Elm Street is correct. Name the film this character appears in, Ella Woods. You've put Harry Potter. It's actually Legally Blonde.
Chick flick, my favourites.
Name the film the character appears in, Sandy Olsen. You've put Pirates of the Caribbean. It's actually Grease. Sandy is the main character. Name the film this character appears in, Captain Quint. You've put Pirates of the Caribbean. It's actually Jaws. But at least 10 out of 10 for trying, because if you don't put an answer, you can't get it right.
No.
Name the film this character appears in. Ellen Ripley. You've put Alien. That's correct. Name the film this character appears in. Carrie White is Carrie. Yes. When was the film Goonies released? 1985. You put 83. I was allowing 2 years each way.
I put 88, I think.
Yeah, you have. That was 3 years. Unfortunately, it means you don't get the point. What accompanied The Bad and the Ugly in the Clint Eastwood film The Good?
I was thinking of the other episodes in the trilogy, other films.
What were the hills alive with in the musical set in Australia? In Austria, I mean. The Sound of Music. I'll accept just music. What comical character is featured as evil in the film OT? You've even put the name of the clown. It's the clown I wanted, which you've got down. Excellent, well done. Which army does Tom Hanks serve with in Saving Private Ryan? The American Army is correct. You've got a lot of good answers on this one. The Eagle has landed. Centres on a plot to kidnap whom? You've put the Queen. It was actually to capture Winston Churchill, the British Prime Minister. I've got the book of that because it's a Jack Higgins novel, and it's also a film. And I've watched that several times as well. Name the film Philo Beddoe. Any Which Way But Loose. Let's just double check the answers as well.
Probably Dirty Harry or something.
Every Which Way But Loose is correct.
You're kidding me.
I knew it was correct, but I'd just like to double check in case I have got it wrong myself. Now you'll kick yourself with this one. Name the film this character appears in. Honey Rider. You've put Austin Powers. He was actually Dr. No.
Oh, Bond film, okay.
Yeah. So that's the first of the Bond films. What garden ornament was the basis of the film Romeo and Juliet? Garden gnome is correct. And in which Bond film does Warren Atkinson star?
Warren or Rowan?
Rowan
Rowan, Mr.
Atkinson.
Bean.
Yep. You've put Die Another Day. It's Never Say Never Again.
That's actually one of the Bond films.
It is a Bond film,
Never
but
Say Never.
it was Sean Connery when he came back
Okay.
after he'd said he wouldn't do any more. Right, shall we total them up for you?
Currently on 21.
You got 12 on that one.
Right. 33 then.
Don't worry, because instead of me trying to work it all out at the end, I am writing it all down as well. And we're coming on to the final category,
So I failed badly.
history. I don't think you'll find this as bad as you think, because I think instead of calling this history, they should have called it humanities, because there's a lot of geography as well as history in this.
Okay.
Right, so starting with the question number 1 in history. In which country is the historic landmark situated, Giant's Causeway?
Okay.
Which country is this situated, this landmark? Blackpool Tower. Sorry, we'll change that because it should be which county is this?
Blackpool.
Yeah, Blackpool Tower.
County. English county. Might just be out.
Which county is this situated, the White Horse?
Okay.
Which county is this situated, St Michael's Mount? Is the following situated in the UK? Fountain Abbey, yes or no? In which county is this historic landmark situated? Niagara Falls.
Country.
Yep, which country? Which country is this historic landmark situated? The Statue of Liberty.
Yep.
Which country is this historic landmark situated? Little Mermaid.
Yep.
Which country is this historic landmark situated? Mount Fuji.
Yep.
Which country is this historic landmark situated? Moulin Rouge.
Okay.
Which artist painted the Mona Lisa? What was the name of the first UK's Windsor monarch? So if you don't fully know your royals, that one's a difficult one.
I'm going back quite a bit in time for that one.
A little bit, yeah. Which year was America recognised as a country? And again, I'll allow you 2 years each way.
I think I need about 1,000 years each way. Okay.
What is Scotland's longest river?
Okay.
Which was Britain's first national park?
Yep.
Who established the Church of England?
Okay.
Which famous military leader defeated Napoleon at the Battle of Waterloo?
Okay, move on.
Was that the question, who defeated Napoleon? Yeah. What is the NHS?
Okay.
Which country was Adolf Hitler born? And final question, what was the name of a famous rifle which was known as the gun that won the West in America?
Rifle.
Just allow you a bit of time to go through them and make sure you're happy with what you've put.
Right. I think that's yeah.
All right.
Call it a day there.
Right then, which country is the historic landmark situated Giant's Causeway? That's in Ireland. You've put England. I've actually been to the Giant's Causeway.
Yeah.
It's in County Antrim. Which county is this situated? Blackpool Tower. Lancashire is correct. Which county is this situated? The White Horse. You put West Midlands. It's in Dorset. Which county is this situated? St Michael's Mount. You put Norfolk. It's actually in Cornwall. Is the following situated in the UK? Fountain Abbey. The answer is yes.
I thought so.
In which county is this historic landmark situated? Niagara Falls, Canada is correct. It's because there's entry into the Niagara Falls from America and from Canada. Yeah. A lot of people might have put America. Which country is the historic landmark situated? Statue of Liberty. America is correct. Which country is this historic landmark situated? Little Mermaid. Denmark is correct. Well done for knowing that one. Which country is the historic landmark? Mount Fuji. Japan is correct. Which country is this historic landmark situated? Moulin Rouge. That's France. Well done. Which artist painted the Mona Lisa? You've put Leonardo da Vinci. Da Vinci is correct. What was the name of the first UK Windsor monarch? You've put Queen Victoria. It was actually George V. Last page. Which year was America recognised as a country? You've put 1587. It was actually 1778. I think it was a couple of years out there. What is Scotland's longest river? You put Inverness. It's actually the River Tay. Which was Britain's first national park? You've put the Peak District, and the Peak District is correct.
No way. What a guess.
Who established the Church of England? You've put the Queen. It was actually Henry VIII.
Shocking history.
Which famous military leader defeated Napoleon at the Battle of Waterloo? That was Wellington. You haven't put an answer for that. What is the NHS? National Health Service is correct. I'd have cussed you if you'd have got that wrong.
Yeah. Took all my marks away.
Which country was Adolf Hitler born? Austria is correct. What was the name of the famous rifle which is known as the gun that won the West in America? You put Langdon. It was the Colt 45.
Right, okay.
Right, I think you've done quite well on this.
Let's scrap 50% maybe.
You've got 11 on that one.
44, am I correct?
That's not bad, is it?
That's about it.
Oh, I've just dropped my pencil. Can you do me a favour and pick my pencil for me? It's a long way down from here.
A little pencil. I got 44.
That's not bad. 44 out of 80. You might not have won the quiz if it was a competition,
No.
but that's a respectable score. Well done.
For a one-man show. Thank you.
That's it. Well done.